Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel for a brand new video, and I am attempting another shell challenge. This is PlumBob95's shell challenge that she's been running for quite some time. I think the deadline was the 18th of May, and of course I came right down to the wire because how many attempts did this take me? Several. Loads, and it changed a lot. I first started building in Sunset Valley, and I think I had the shell a different orientation, and then I was like, let me just change the orientation. Let's plop this in Sunlit Tides and let's go for a beach house because it's been quite some time since I have built a beach house. And so that is where we are. That is what we are doing. We are at the in Sunlit Tides, but this could go on another 30 by 30 lot in Isla Paradiso, or you could keep it in Sunlit Tides, whatever you like. Or you could probably find like a beachfront property in Sunset Valley, and that could work too. But yes, this took me quite some time to figure this all out. It ends up being 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2.5 bathrooms actually, and the orientation is slightly different than I would normally do. So the living space is upstairs and the bedrooms are downstairs, but I think that's kind of typical of beach houses. So that is what I went for. And then this is going to be a boat garage, and also the back of it is going to be a little bit of a pool house. You won't see me lay down the pool house initially, but I do recolor that on camera. So what is going on with you, lovely lot? What is new? I was going to say we're in the height of summer, but we're not really because it's actually freezing and I've got a fleece on right now while I'm recording this. But I was sweating probably an hour ago. So I don't know what is up with this UK weather, but like I always say, you get probably like, I don't know, a week max of summer in the UK, and then it's over, it's done, it's dusted, and you're like, oh, that was bro. But the summers here are so weird. So last summer, it was scorching hot. Like, I'm talking up to 40 degrees Celsius in some places, and it just wasn't really nice. So I'm hoping that we don't have that this year because I can't cope. I don't like being a sweaty Betty. It's not my favorite thing. Unless I am on a beach with a cocktail and an umbrella in it, I don't want to be sweating from my elbows. That's just not fun for me. So back to the house. You can see that the roof is on, the boat garage is complete, and we are doing the recoloring. So if you don't know how a shell challenge works, is you are given a shell, which is what we started with. So PlumBob95 built this shell, and you can place it in any orientation that you like. The only sort of caveats are you can't delete exterior walls and you can't have new walls touching the exterior walls. So you may think that looking at this that I've added walls. I haven't. Those kind of lattice looking things, those are actually windows, and there's no walls behind them. And then I've got columns in between there. And then the boat garage is obviously not touching the house, and it's connected by that little roof area. So it's a pretty cool house. Like, I was really chuffed to bits with this because I don't build a lot of beach homes. I think the last beach home that I actually built was my very first What the Plum, way back when I think I hit 1,000 subscribers, and I think it was the Bohemian Beach Bungalow, and I turned it into the Driftwood. So this is called the Beechwood because I'm brilliant at naming homes. And yeah, I really love it. I actually am really digging the bright colors. I don't normally do bright colors, so this was really out of my comfort zone. I don't do beach houses, I don't do bright colors, but these are like bam, wow, in your face. And I kind of dig it, I kind of love it. I lightly play tested this house. I didn't go as extensive as I usually would, but I made sure to play test the stairs because I always say play test your stairs, because if you don't, you're in a world of hurt if they don't work. So we have made ourselves We've gone all the way into the interior. So as I always start with, this is the kitchen. It's not massive, but I don't feel like it needs to be, because in my mind this house is probably for a couple and a teenage daughter, or maybe a teenager that's going off to college but wants to live at home, even though it's not really possible in The Sims 3 unless you have mods. But it's kind of for an older teen. That's what I was thinking of. And so this is the living room and the dining room. So it's one big open space. Took me a while to figure out the configuration of the dining table, but there it is. I started out doing that little trick where I moved tables into each other, and then it just didn't work. The sort of octagonal table didn't work for this space. And so you may think, wow, that is a really teeny tiny space to have a living room, a small living room, and kind of a massive dining room, but it works. I did make sure to play test all the seats. I had to do a lot of jiggery pokery to make sure it works, including moving the fireplace, getting a different fireplace, but all the seats around that table should work should your Sims want to have a dinner party of sorts, because there are way more seats than Sims that could possibly fit in this house, or that I would recommend fitting in this house. So now we're downstairs and we've got sort of another sort of fun living area. I just thought because the upstairs living area was so small that I put more of a games room downstairs. So I'm doing that little trick where I'm moving a video game console as well as a radio into the coffee tables, and then I'm going to lift and shift them with debug enabler, which I don't do on camera because that would take me ages, because I still haven't figured out the exact heights of things. So I'm up and down, up and down, up and down, and nobody wants to see that. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then I put a little video game console and the dartboard. So that is an open space that kind of leads into an open area office. And I just thought, I don't know, it was good for an office, like a computer. There's two bookshelves down here, and then there's a place to sit. And the older teenager does have their own laptop, but I just thought maybe if one half of the couple wants to use this space, I don't know what kind of careers they're going to be in, but if they want to use this space, they're more than welcome to. There is a computer for them to use. So like I said, I had so much fun doing this, and you can see that there's bright colors on the wall in the interiors in some of the spaces, as well as on the floor in the little bonus space. I really had fun playing with the flooring and repainting the flooring. And then another thing that I did before I'm going to talk about this elder teenager's room is that I actually used zero simoleon flooring. I never use that stuff. I usually hate it, but I just thought it was perfect for this home. So we're in the elder teenager room, and my thinking for this sim was that they were really into photography. I mean, if you're gonna live on a beach lot or have access to beautiful sunsets, why wouldn't you be into photography? So I put an underwater camera. I've also put in the camera from World Adventures, and I just thought they could go a buck wild. So this room changes a little bit from what you're finally going to see after I recolor it to what is in the screenshots, because I actually did play test this room because it's not small, but I put a lot of stuff in it, and so I just thought I'm going to play test this. And my sim couldn't get up onto the platform because of I had something right in front of where they have to enter on the platform. Apparently they have to enter from the far right and they can't go through the middle. So I had some knickknacks and stuff there on the far right, so I had to move them. So what you see at the end of this video is not what you're going to see at the screenshots, because Sims are kind of stupid and they don't just go and walk through the middle of the platform. They've got to go all the way to the right hand side, which makes absolutely no sense, but we love a routing issue here. That's so much fun. So I was gonna do my typical, let's put an art easel in here, and this is going to be an artistic teenager, but then I got rid of the easel and I went for some bookshelves, and then I put a television here, so it's kind of like a really cozy, cool alcove, and I dig it. This room is actually pretty cool. kind of jealous. I would love that. It's got its own entrance as well, so that's why I was thinking kind of an older teenager lives here, verging on a young adult, because, you know, I suppose a teenager could live here and they could sneak out and things like that, but I just thought it would make better sense if it was an elder teenager. So what is this? We are laying out a bathroom on camera. So this bathroom is connecting to the elder teenager's room and also the hallway as well. So there's 2 entrances to this bathroom and it works. It's got a shower, a tub, but I could not for the life of me figure out the configuration of this, so it took me quite some time, some messing around, some fumbling, some changing of the sinks, and I can't remember what I went with in the end because I mean, look at me, what am I doing? I mean, that's just silly. So I end up going with the laundry tub sink. That is one of my favorites. And then have this like corner counter, which I think works. So it all works really smoothly. The doors are opening the way I want them to open. And I just thought with the bathtub near the windows, that just made perfect sense. Now, another thing that you can kind of see in the background, but you can't really see, is that there's a barbecue out there. There's some lounge chairs. There's some places to sit. So that's kind of like a courtyard, and it looks out onto the ocean. You'll see in the screenshots, but it is just beautiful, so stunning. Like, I'm so glad that I put this lot to the end of the road in Sunlit Tides, because it just really works. So here we are in the main master bedroom. Oh, and look, there's a fire pit. And it works. She's cute. She does what it says on the tin. She's a master bedroom, and there is access to a private deck from here. So I think this room is maybe slightly smaller than the older teenager's room. But they've got a fireplace, and they've also got their own little private decks, so I think it works. But look at me go with all the different configurations. Like, what am I trying to do? I had not a Scooby-Dooby clue. But that's where the dresser stays, and I'm just putting some windows back in. Now, these windows, I've never used them in my entire life, and I love them. They're from a store set. I can't remember which store set it is exactly, but they're actually screened in windows, and I thought that made perfect sense for a beach house. So this is the master bathroom, and again, tub, shower, and we're gonna go for double sinks this time. Lucky duckies, they get double sinks. And yeah, it's just a bathroom. That's it. There's not really much you can say about a bathroom, but I know that some of you like to see me lay them down, so I just decided to do this on camera. I don't recolor them on camera because what you see is what you get. Here it is. It's not anything beautiful, but the one thing I do want to say that is beautiful in all of the bathrooms is the tiling that I chose. That's actually from Island Paradise, the expansion pack Island Paradise. Never used it in my entire life because, again, I don't really build beach houses, but I just thought this tile is beautiful. So I've used it in the two full bathrooms, and then there's a half bathroom that is upstairs. And yeah, I really, really love it. So now we're back to the recoloring phase. And so the kitchen, the configuration changes a little bit. So on the right hand wall, you can see that the fridge is furthest to the left. You won't see this in the recoloring phase or anything, but I was taking pictures of the exterior, and from the back angle, not having a window where the fridge is, that's the same as the other windows in the kitchen, just really made the back of the house look off balanced. So I end up moving the fridge and the nectar racks and kind of switching those around, and then I was able to put another window in there, and the balance is just, it's so much better. So I went for a lot of light wood sort of colors, and then there are some pops of color. I wanted this to be a really calming and serene place, like almost like a vacation house where Sims can just come and this can be their second home and they can just be laid back, relaxed, and chillaxed. So that was my hope for whatever Sims lived here. Maybe this is kind of their second vacation home. So we've moved from the kitchen. We're into this small upstairs living room. We are going to revisit the kitchen because I didn't like the shine that was coming off of the countertops. So I end up going with wood countertops and I think white cabinets, and it just looks a whole heck of a lot better. So yes, and we've got my favorite, what is that? That's a sofa from Diesel Stuff, and I just love that expansion pack for furniture. I'm very surprised that I actually didn't use that in the main bedroom, but I went for more of a beachy vibe. So there you can see I've changed out the fireplace and there's much more room. Yes, your Sims can access all of those chairs. So I'm pretty proud. I'm pretty proud of how this place turned out, because when you're doing a shell challenge, it is so difficult because the point is for it to be difficult. And yes, this was difficult. Like roofing this was a massive pain in the ass. But once you get there and you can kind of see the wood from the trees, absolutely you're a happy bunny and you're like, you just feel so accomplished. So I highly recommend, if you haven't tried this shell challenge or you've not tried a shell challenge, the last one I did was by CJ Plays and this one is by plumbob95. Check out their channels and just, you know what, this makes for good like building practice. Like if you're not confident as a builder, take somebody else's shell and just play around with it, different configurations, different roofing styles, and see what you can come up with. That is like a really good tip from me. If you want to become a better builder, try a shell challenge because it'll take you out of your comfort zone and you'll probably try things that you never thought that you would try before. So we're just recoloring the kitchen yet again, and then we're going to pop downstairs to this kind of bonus fun room with all the colors and the cool little pattern that is on the floor, which I really love. So we're going to do this area, the open office area, the 2 bedrooms, and then we're going to pop to the pool house because there is a pool. And yeah, so that is basically what is happening in this video. And before I go, tell me what you've been up to since my last video. I know that one of you became an auntie again, which is super exciting. But what else has everybody else been up to? I have been to Bongos Bingo again. I know you guys have heard me talk about that a lot. And I don't know if I've ever told you, but I've been going to Bongos Bingo since 2018. So we're talking over 5 years that I've been going. And in that time, I have never won a round of bingo. That is until last Friday when I won the most obnoxious, largest inflatable duck. If I can find a picture of it, I will pop it on screen. I'll show you kind of a before and after because it was inflated on stage and then they deflated it for me, and then my friends and I had to shove it in a tiny box, which I then had to carry around town. And then the next day I was like, I'm gonna blow this up. So I blew it up. And it's massive, but I'm like super proud because I finally won after all these years of Bongos Bingo. And as well, I'm super excited, more Bongos Bingos news. They're having their 8th birthday party in September, and this is probably only for those UK people out there, but Craig David is going to be performing and I'm going to the show and I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Other than that, it has been a bank holiday weekend. This is Tuesday today that I'm recording this, and I've actually had an extra day off because my work is awesome. And so I just thought I'd sit down and I would do a voiceover, and then I'm probably going to go back to the renovation project that I've been doing. Now, Xbox Summer guessed on one of my other videos what renovation I was going to be doing in Riverview, and I think I got confused because I was talking about a renovation that I was going to do in a house that is super iconic in the simming community, and he was talking about a renovation that I was going to do in Riverview. So I'm doing both. I'm doing an iconic house that most of the Sims community will know. It's not in a world, but I am going to renovate this house. And then the one that I'm going to do in Riverview, I finally found my way with it, and I'm super stoked to get this one out. I've been working on it for a little while. So if you guys want to guess the Riverview renovation that I'm going to take on next, please do so down below in the comments. And then obviously I'll probably make my way back to Sunset Valley. Also, I have found a plum fix me up, not a plum fix me up, sorry, a what the plum that I want to do. It was my very first build that I uploaded to the exchange, and I looked at it the other day and I actually had to quit because I don't know how I'm gonna fix it, because it's that bad. It is so horrific, and people have actually downloaded this house, and I'm speechless because it's horrible. It is horrible. Like, I was trying to be too big for my boots, trying things that I had no business trying, and I just don't know how I'm gonna fix it. But hopefully I'll figure it out. But anywho, we're almost done. This is the main bedroom. It's all recolored to sort of calming blues and greens, and then we're gonna pop over to the pool house, and then we're gonna go into a bunch of screenshots. So I'm gonna lovingly be here with some music. But if you enjoyed this, make sure to do all those cool interweb things like comment and subscribe. Make sure you've got that bell a ding dong so you're notified whenever I do upload. But for now, I'm gonna skedaddle. Don't be a plum stranger now, guys.